Good morning from PTY's Kindergarten Science Team. This week we're learning about what is a scientist. How do scientists study objects? How do they measure objects? And how do they write their information down? Our lessons come from the interactive science. Thank you for listening, and here we go. The first chapter in this book, it says, let's look. Turn our page to Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the nature of science. Why is she looking so closely? Why, class? Why do you think she's looking closely? Do you think she's looking to find something? Do you think she's looking to describe something? What is she looking so closely for? There are many ways that scientists figure out what and how properties are formed. How do they matter? And why do they matter? Who in this classroom would like to be a scientist? I have always wondered, how do the stars stay in the sky? Where do the stars come from? Well, a scientist can figure that out. What do you think? Okay, let's go over some vocabulary words that will help us during this chapter. And I think I'm going the wrong way. Here we go. During this chapter, you will learn about the wind. You will also learn about Celsius, change, classification, clear skies, cloud cover, consistency, data, investigation, measure, observing, patterns, patterns, personal protective equipment. That is what scientists use to cover themselves when they're doing experiments. Properties, rain gauge, safety, science, scientists. That's what we're looking for. Someone who investigates natural phenomenon in order to understand and explain the phenomenon. System, temperature, weather, wind conditions, and windy. All this is related to our first chapter, which is, what is a scientist? What do you think a scientist do? Okay, you can look up this information on your web page, and I will also have this video on Class Dojo. It will tell you about what is a scientist and what a scientist do. Okay? Also, if you'd like to know any other experiments that can go on, I'm going to put the book back up. Scientists, what are scientists and what is do? It has a small activity you can do at home concerning scientists. Let's look at it. It says, how do we observe things? How do a scientist observe things? Let's look. 1, look. 2, tell 3 things about something. 3, repeat. 4, draw. Okay, you will need, let's say, if you get a seashell, which is one of the objects in here, you will need a paper, a pen, and a pencil. And what you will do, you will tell me where that seashell comes from, what kind of property do the seashell have, and how does the seashell look. When you're telling how does it look, is it rough or smooth? Does it have color? And we will learn more and more about the details of these objects. But first, we want to explain to you, how do we observe objects? Thank you for listening. Hope this was inquisitive to get your science brains to thinking. And see you on next lesson.